we're going to continue our reading of Euripides, the Iphigeneia among the Taurians, and Iphigeneia has come out to speak the prologos, and we were up to hear as to exactly what Calchas is going to say. So Agamemnon has met with a lack of winds. He can't get the boats going. Well, either a lack of winds or contrary winds, depending on how you take line 15. And so he comes into divination by fire, and Calchas says the following things. We get a vocative here, or Agamemnon. So the name is Agamemnon, as we've seen above, and this is the vocative, so we get a shortening of the vowel there. So, O Agamemnon, anason, literally ruling, takes a genitive, the generalship, strategia, it's an abstract noun, feminine, of Greece. So Agamemnon, you who are the general of Greece, literally you rule the generalship of Greece. Ume plus subjunctive, in no way will a ship disembark or launch, perhaps not disembark, so in no way will a ship launch from the land, and then we get prinan plus the subjunctive. So in no way will a ship launch from the land, prinan, until Artemis, there's the subject, Labe, might receive Koran saying, your daughter Iphigenia, Sphagesan, slaughtered. And so this is from Svasdo. This is the aorist passive participle, it's feminine. So from Svasdo, slaughtered. Now the next main verb for this is down here, euxo. Now this is from euchomai. There's a range of meanings. It can mean to boast, to pray. Here I think to vow. This is the second person singular aorist, middle. So that's a tricky form there. It's from euchomai, second person singular aorist, middle. So you vowed, and it's taking a future infinitive. So you vowed that you would sacrifice to the Phosphoros, the light-bearing goddess. So this, of course, is Artemis. Now back to here, hoti. So we'll take the for out of this sentence here. So for you vowed to that you would sacrifice to the light-bearing goddess, hoti, whatsoever thing, any autos the year might bear, Calliston, most beautiful. So whatsoever thing was the most beautiful, so what was the most beautiful thing that the year might bear? Tekoi is from tikto, I bear. The aorist is etekon. And so this is the aorist optative, so we take the stem, and there's the optative ending because it's indefinite. So, for you vowed that you would sacrifice to the light-bearing goddess whatsoever thing the year might produce most beautiful. So the most beautiful thing which the year might produce. Therefore, un, and now the subject here is say Clytemnestra Damar, your wife, Clytemnestra, historic present, bears, therefore, a child in the house, literally in houses. It's got to get used to the poetry. We often have to put a the in. We often get plural for singular, which we have to deal with when we put it into English. So your wife, Clytemnestra, bore a child in the house. Coming down to here, Hain Cray Sethusai, whom it is necessary, accusative and infinitive, for you to sacrifice. Anapheron, referring the most beautiful thing to me. I think is the order of the Greek, but in English you might say referring to me as the thing which was the most beautiful. It's neuter, the object of greatest beauty. And Technis, Odysseus, this is again instrumental dative here, so by the trickery, literally by the tricky acts, by the wiles of Odysseus. Now there's no explicit subject here, it's just vague, it's para-alontot, this is from parahyreo, to take from, and this is the aorist middle. So they took me from my mother using the trickery of Odysseus, Iphigeneia, on the pretext of gamois, marriage, Achilleos with Achilles, literally of Achilles, but with Achilles. So by the trickery of Odysseus, they took me from my mother on the pretext of marriage with Achilles. Elthusa and Hetelina, wretched me, Elthusa, having come into Aulis, this is a feminine participle from Aelthon, from Erchomai, so wretched me, having come into Aulis, Leiphthaesa, this is from Lambano, this is the aorist passive feminine participle, so the verb is Lambano. The aorist middle is eleiphthe, so this is the feminine participle. So having been taken, perhaps having been lifted, met Asia high up above the altar, above the pyre I should say, ekainomene, this is an imperfect, but it's in the sense of I was about to be. So I was about to be killed, xiphe, dative, with a sword. So I was about to be killed with a sword, but Artemis, there's our verb ex eklepsen from eklepto, so stole me away, antidousa from antididomi, substituting for the Achaeans, so substituting an elephant, a deer, for me, for the Achaeans. So Artemis stole me away, having substituted a deer for me for the Achaeans. Pempsanta, having sent me through the lampron Ithera, through the bright air, she placed me into this land of the Taurians. So this is a feminine participle here from Pempo, so it's all agreeing with Artemis. So Artemis, having sent me through the bright air, she caused me to dwell in this land of the Taurians. This is from Oikizdo. She founded me, she set me up in this land of the Taurians. Hu geis anase. Now the anaso takes a genitive, it never takes a dative, and so it's best to take this with the who, with the geis, and take this in a different sense here. So into the lands of the Taurians, so Thoas is the subject, so of which land Thoas rules, a barbarian, and then we take this as a dative, perhaps over barbarians. So that's a bit tricky, that line. So of which land Thoas rules, Thoas who is a barbarian, barbarois, among barbarians, or perhaps over barbarians. Now, Thoas, we get a little bit more about the name Thoas. The name looks like an Euripidean invention. Euripides likes to invent characters that are not necessarily part of the previous mythic tradition. The name itself is being connected with swiftness. So Thoas, literally who, tithes, aorist participle from tithemi, placing his swift foot equal to wings, W-I-N-G-S. So he's as swift as a bird, really. So who, having placed his swift foot, you might say like wings, he came unto, this is toonyma, Crassus here, he came unto this name, that is Thoas, so he got the name Thoas on account of his podokeia, his swiftness of foot. So that's a little bit very poetic here. So Thoas, whose feet were swift like wings, he came unto this name of Thoas, carried plus genitive on account of his swiftness of foot. And well, a little bit more here. So he placed me, Hirian, as a priestess in these temples, Hothen, where the goddess Artemis, Heidatai, enjoys these customs of the feast, the name of which alone is good. But of the other things, Sigo, I am silent. I'm not going to say anything about the rest of it. So Hothen, so where the goddess Artemis takes pleasure in these customs of the feast, whose name alone is good, but the other things I remain silent on, fearing the goddess. And then in square brackets she now proceeds to tell you what those things are, even though she said I was about to be silent on them. Now we get a genitive absolute, it being the custom even before to the city, I sacrifice, whoever Greek man might come to this land. Now the grammar here is a little bit odd, because you'd expect after thuo an accusative, but which is one of the reasons why this is in square brackets here. It's rather odd. So, it being the custom even before to the city, I make sacrifice, whoever Greek man might come to this land. And we'll continue that in a later video.